Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Codezah here, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this code as a background. Of course, you can use any text you want, and basically the background includes this text and then these three balls, and they're glossy here, and you can see they're kind of rough, but I don't know how to fix that. I'm sorry if it happens to you, but we might try actually a soft texture on these instead of just a big reflection. And then the graphic design here. And then I put the grid on here in Photoshop, but we'll get to all that later. So let's just start out in Cinema 4D. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open a new project. First of all, we're going to create our text. So let's go to MoGraph, MoText. So just bring that into the middle here. Then you type whatever you want. I'm going to type Codezah. Bring the depth up about to 80. 80 or so is good. We'll center that later. So we'll just choose our fonts, and for this I'm just going to scroll down to a random font. Yada yada yada. Robo. Sure, why not? Alright, so yeah, it's pretty much all customized for you guys, so you gotta go ahead and choose your own font. You don't need to install my fonts. Later on I might give a link to my fonts, because they're pretty good fonts, and they're good ones to have. So let me know in the comments if you actually want that, because I'll give it to you. Alright, so now you have your MoText. You're gonna go to caps, fillet cap, like that, both of them. Then you're gonna go ahead and create a copy of the text. Then you're gonna put the fillet cap to 6. Both of them, and you're going to go to object, tone this down to 20. Alright, now you're going to go into this view button here, the window button here, and you're going to go into your top view. Alright, and you have this here, the 20 mode text. You see it here, it's in a line, so you just copy this and you drag it back about behind the other one, and then we're going to do that about one more time. Pretty much whatever fits your text. Like if you do 80, it should be about 3. If you do, more than 80, then of course you can do how many ever you want, but I think it looks best with 3. Alright, now we got that. We can go back into our view there, and you see we have that text, and it's kind of looking a little weird, but it looks really good and rendered, and that flat like this. Alright, so next part is the studio. Now you don't have to. You probably, if you do have a studio, great. But if you don't, then you can just do floors. Like an example, like you could put a floor here, and then you could put a floor on the back, and you could add color to it. But we have a studio, so we're just gonna try to make this simple. But you're gonna go ahead and go into your studio, and see, I'm gonna start off with a base like this or this. Yeah, I'm gonna start off with this. And so basically you just build this. It could be 3 floors, 1, 2, 3, but it's curved here. That just makes it a little nicer, but floors just work perfectly fine. Again, this is amateur, or not like amateur, but kind of simple. So we're going to start off with this. Alright, now you have that, and you're going to have to, oops, let's not do that. You're going to need, let's move our text up. Let's go highlight all your text and go Alt-G. That'll group it, and you can rename this to text or Codezah or whatever your text is. Then it's just one easy click, so we just can move it up like that. Move our view up. Then move our studio up because it's in the ground there. Alright, there we go. Text. Just want to fit it there, and yeah, here we go. Pretty much personal preference where you want this, guys. But this is just a tutorial, so yeah. Alright, now that we have that, we're going to want to add softbox, because this is based off lighting. So if you don't have softboxes, you can just go into plane, right here, plane, and you can add luminance and alpha. And if you have a softbox texture, go ahead and put that on there too. But I have softboxes, so let's go ahead and get our softboxes out. Oops. Oh yeah, there's a preview of the background. Yeah, I already showed you that though. So let's go into softbox. Don't click that. Alright, there you go. There's your softbox. And for the softbox, they're kind of, my softboxes are picky. They're grayscale gorillas. I haven't learned the full controls of them yet, 'cause I'm a noob. But gonna move it over. We're gonna have a softbox on the side, and the top, basically, and then you're gonna have your view in the front. Alright, so I think these softboxes are pretty. So this one I'm gonna go, because there is controls. I'm gonna go and do this, and go into controls, and we're just gonna rotate that, basically looking at the side. So for this, it's about 90 degrees here, 89, 90. Alright, so we have that looking at the side, and we're gonna put the width, height all the way up. So we got a big one there, big softbox there. And we're gonna go ahead and grab another softbox, or we can just copy it, which we're probably gonna do. So you can hold control and then drag it down. There you go, you have another softbox. And just move that over to here. Then you go into your softbox controls. Again, if you don't have these controls, you just go into rotation and you can rotate it. Softbox move. Softbox controls. Alright, and we're gonna rotate this one negative 90 now. Or so. Set it to negative 90. See that? Yeah, it looks good. Alright, we're gonna have to bring it in just a bit. Softbox, bring it in, and there we go. We have 2 of the lights done. Now we're gonna grab an overhead softbox. You can grab another plane or something, if you need one. But I have an overhead softbox, so we're just gonna grab that real quick, and just make sure it's all aligned. So you can go in your top view and see if you see this over your text. It should be aligned. Make sure it's not over your studio. Again, you can just use a bottom and a back wall for your studio, but I'm just using a roof, you know, just for tutorial purposes. It makes it look a little better, and you don't have any render out. But a floor, usually it'll cover the whole thing, so you don't really need a roof. Alright, so we have that. We're gonna go ahead and move this up because it's in our way. Just down there. And we can make it a little bigger. Where's the controls? Alright. There we are. There we are. Okay. We can just make it a little bigger in the width if you want to, if you can do that. And that's basically it for the studio. We're about done with that, guys. So that was the studio. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the reflection and the balls down here. So for the text, we're gonna just get a new material. We're gonna use it the same color. Again, it's your preference for color, but I'm just gonna use it the same color here. And we're gonna go ahead and turn reflection on. And we're not gonna do for now for this, because it's not. We don't want it to be too. Let's see, how do I say this? Too reflective, I guess. So we're just gonna do regular, and we're gonna put it up to about 40, 35, 40, whatever personal preference is. Alright. And quick thing, before I don't forget, go into your render settings, and you're going to want to turn on global illumination, and so the softbox will light the text. And if it looks black, that's okay. It's not going to render black like that. It's just kind of a glitch, or it's just supposed to be that way. But yeah. Alright. So that's the text. Now we're going to go into spheres. So to get a sphere, you click this, and then you go sphere. We're going to drag that up about to the side here. We're going to copy some of those. Again, hold control, click, drag, control, click, drag. Alright, now we have 3 spheres. So we're going to move them to the middle here. If you want to make this perfect, you can go ahead and go to settings, or your coordinates, and you can make it perfect. But this, for tutorial purposes, this will be just a simple tutorial, and it's, you know, it's not very professional, so, you know, he just free ball it. So there we are. There's a ball. There's 3 spheres. We'll make them big later if you want. But now we're gonna go ahead and get some materials. And now I have decided to make all the materials for this tutorial for tutorial purposes, because you probably do not have material packs. So for the first material, this is pretty much personal preference actually, but I like to make mine red, kind of darkish red. And that was reflection. Sorry, turn the reflection back to white. Color, then make it a darkish kind of red. Then you go to reflection, turn that on, and I usually do my spheres about to 30. And we will also try some soft let's see, materials. Yeah, soft materials, and maybe that'll look better, but I don't But we're just going to do the reflection first. So color on this one, we're going to change it to black. Again, personal preference. Reflection, add it to a 30 reflection. Alright. Now we're going to add it to our spheres. You can either drag it on the sphere itself or on the layer there, whatever you call it. So we're just going to do black, red, black. And that's basically most of it. And most of the tutorial. And if you want to make the spheres even, or a little more even, oops, or not even, I mean a little bigger, if you want that for personal preference, you can. I'll show you how to do that right now if you just align them a bit. So you're going to select all your spheres, and hold control and click all of them, all 3 of them. And you can go ahead and go to object, and where it says radius here, you just turn this up, makes them bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. So we're just going to make them about, let's say that size. Alright. And that's basically done. Let's see, I'm going to try to realign my spheres real quick. And if you see this line here, I don't know if you can see it in the tutorial, but if you see this line, that's your render line. And we're going to fix that. It's a little small right now, but we're going to fix that in the render settings in just a second. Alright, so our spheres are decent. Line again, you can go into coordinates down here if you want them perfect and even. But yeah, that's just for tutorial purposes. And so we're gonna go into render settings. You click here, or you can click render settings, wherever the heck it is. Render settings right here, and you'll get this. You're gonna go to output, and you're gonna want your screen resolution if you're gonna make it a background. Now my screen resolution was 1600 by 900, and to find the screen resolution, if you want, you can go to, I think it's, what's my screen resolution .com. Okay, no, it's not it. So I'll put this link in the description, but now we're just gonna go to Google screen resolution. What is my screen resolution.com? See, I'm using 1600 by 900, and I'll have this link in the description for you guys to use, but that's how you find your screen resolution. So in Sim 4D, you're going to want to set this to your screen resolution, minus 1600 by 900. As you can see, it changes, and then you'll adjust it a bit if you want. But that's it. And then frames, you're going to want 0 frames, current frame 0 frames, or just manual 0 frames. Doesn't really matter. But you just don't. It's going to be a picture, so you don't want any frames. Now, you're going to save it as whatever you want, and you're going to save it as a PNG. Should be standard on all computers. PNG. Alright, and you're just gonna click this, go wherever you want to save it, yada yada, tutorial, save it as whatever, save it. Alright, you're not gonna click these, just don't mess with these. I don't know what I did here, but it's not gonna affect anything. And if you didn't do this global illumination, you just go to effect, global illumination. I already have it clicked, so yeah, it's right here, and make sure it's checked so it's activated. And that's basically for the render settings. So right now you're done. You can just adjust your screen a bit if you want. Let's go ahead and do a test render, and I'll probably speed this up since it takes just a little bit.